In today's video, we're going to look at the revision exercises for Algebra 2. I'm going to give you guys time to attempt each question, pause the video, and then you can watch me solve the question. So the very first one we have is question A1, part A, and part 1 of that is 9 is equal to 2y plus 5. So when I look at that equation, I would rather have the variables on one side and the numbers on the other. So one thing I haven't mentioned to you guys yet is that the variable doesn't have to be on the right hand side, or it doesn't have to be on the left. But one thing to remember is this says 9 is equal to 2y plus 5. That means we're also able to say 2y plus 5 is equal to 9. Then with that as well, we can say 2y plus 5 is equal to 9. Well, we need to subtract 5 from both sides of this equation because we want to get rid of that 5 there. So then we'll have 2y is equal to 9 minus 5, oops, and 9 minus y is 4. So then we'll have 2y is equal to 4. The coefficient of the variable is 2, so we're going to divide both sides by 2. And if we divide 2y over 2, then we'll be left with just a y. And if we divide 4 by 2, we'll be left with just a 2. So they cancelled out, that crossed out. So okay, then part 2 of the question was 7x plus 8 is equal to minus 90. So that's 7x plus 8 is equal to negative 90. So same as before, take my equation as it is. So I have 7x plus 8 is equal to negative 90. Well, I need numbers on one side, variables on the other. So this positive 8, we'll have to subtract 8 from that. If we do that, we'll have to subtract 8 from the other side as well. Then we'll be left with 7x is equal to negative 90, take away another 8, we'll be left with minus 98. So then we'll have 7x is equal to negative 98. Then we can see that the variable in front of the number in front of our variable, apologies, is a 7. So we'll divide 7x by 7 and we'll have to divide minus 98 by 7 as well. So 7x divided by 7, well, that will leave us with just a single x. And minus 98 divided by 7, well, a negative number divided by a positive is going to leave us with a negative number anyway. And I think there's 10 70s there's 10 7s in 70. And then 98 take away that 70, we're left at 28, so that's 2 14s. That means there's 14 there. So x is equal to minus 14, because 14 sevens would be 98. Okay, part B of the question says solve the equation. So this one again is getting a little bit harder. So part B is 2n plus 7 is equal to n plus 12. So I need to have variables on one side and I need to have numbers on the other. So now I want my variables on this side, so I'm going to subtract n from this side and subtract n from that side. But I also want this plus 7 to not be on the right hand side or left hand side. So I'll subtract 7 from it as well. So I'll subtract 7. So I'm subtracting 7 from both sides. So now I'll be left with 2n minus n is a single n on this side. And n minus n leaves us with no n's on the right, so they'll cancel out. Then I'll have 7 plus 7 minus 7, they'll cancel out, and then I'll have 12 minus 7, that will leave me with a 5. So that's n is equal to 5 for part B. Question C is one that has brackets, so there'll be lots of multiplying in this one. So it starts off with 4d plus 5, so 4, open a bracket, d plus 5 minus 2 on a d plus 3. I think that was equal to 12. Yeah. So now if I want to solve this out, I'll have to do a bit of multiplying. So we'll have 4 times d will be 4d. then 4 times plus 5 will be 20. So that will leave me with plus 20. Then I have minus 2 times d. Well, that's minus 2d. Then I have minus 2 by 3. That'll be negative 6 is equal to 12. So I have 4 d's, take away 2 d's. That leaves me with 2d. Plus 20, take away 6. That'll leave me with plus 14 is equal to 12. So I have 2d plus 14 is equal to 12. So now say 2d plus 14 is equal to 12. I'm going to take away 14 from both sides. Then that will leave me with 2d is equal to negative 2. And then I'll have 2d is equal to negative 2. 2d will have to be divided by 2. Negative 2 will have to be divided by 2. And then I'll have d is equal to negative 1. So don't forget, again, to put in your which implies for each line. Now, part D coming up next, I think, is a word problem. So we'll get a read of that. The cost of 2 adults and 3 children attending the cinema is 36 euros. So we know whatever we're going to have, it's going to end up as equal to 36 euros. That's the total cost. If an adult ticket costs 3 more than a child's ticket, what is the cost of each ticket? So how many adults and how many children? 2 adults, 3 children. Okay, 2 adults, 3 children, and the adult's ticket is €3 more. Right, let's have a think about this. So we need to say we have 2 adults and 3 children. So we'll say if a child's ticket is X euro, and we have a second child which is X euro, and a third child is X euro, then we have one adult who's X euro plus 3, and a second adult who's X euro plus 3. And that'll be equal to our 36 euros total. So that's 5 x's plus 6 is equal to 36. So then 5x plus 6 is equal to 36. I need to subtract 6 from both sides. And I'll be left with 5x is equal to 30. And then that'll have to be divided by 5, and that'll have to be divided by 5. And then I'll be left with x is equal to 6 euros. So a child's ticket is €6. And adults will be 9. In question 2, it starts much the same way with a simple linear equation to solve. So in our first one here, we can say we have 5h minus 42 is equal to 8. So that negative 42 is on the left-hand side of the equals. We'd prefer if it was on the right. So because it's negative, we'll add a positive 42 to both sides. When we add a positive 42 to the left-hand side, they'll cancel each other out. And we'll be left with a solitary 5h on the left. And that'll be equal to a 50. Then we have 5h is equal to 50. So 5h is equal to 50, and that'll have to be divided by 5 because the coefficient of h is 5. And then we're left with h is equal to 50 divided by 5 is 10. Then part 2 of question 2 says 34 is equal to 10k plus 4. So again, I'd rather, not that it makes a massive difference, but I'd rather have the variable on the left. So I can swap them around. So now variables are on one side. Variable is on one side, sorry. And we want to have the numbers on the other. So to do that, we have a plus 4 on the left. But to take away that plus 4, we'll have to subtract 4 from both sides. Then they'll cancel each other out. And we're left with a 10k is equal to 30. Then we're left with 10k divided by 10. The 10s will cancel each other out. And that'll be equal to 30 divided by 10. So 30 divided by 10 will leave us with k is equal to 3. Now part B of the next question. Let's see what that is. So part B is solve the equation f minus 12 is equal to, okay, so f minus 12 is equal to minus f minus 14, I think it was. Yeah. So I have f and negative 12 is equal to negative f negative 14. So first off, I want f's on the left because they're the variables, and I want numbers on the right. So I'm going to add a plus f there, so they'll cancel each other out. But to do that, I'll have to add a plus f here. We have a negative 12 on the left-hand side of the equals, so I'll have to add 12 to that to make it cancel out. But to do that, I'll have to add 12 to the other side of the equation. Then I'm left with f plus f is 2f's is equal to minus 14 plus 12 minus 2. So 2f, oops, see daisy, that's not an f. 2f divided by 2, well, 2's will cancel each other out, is equal to minus 2 over 2. And minus 2 divided by 2, well, there's 1, 2 in that, so we have f is equal to negative 1. Now part C, I think is a bit longer, but I'm multiplying in it. Yeah, so we have 2 on m plus 7, minus 4 on a bracket, I think it was. M plus 3 equals 15 on m minus 1, I think. Yep. So now to solve these, well, 2 multiplied by m will give us 2m. 2 multiplied by 7 will give us plus 14. Minus 4 multiplied by m is minus 4m. Minus 4 by 3 is minus 12 is equal to 15 by m is 15m, and 15 by minus 1 is minus 15. So you might think, why was I able to do that so quickly? Well, every time I see brackets, it's in my head that if I see brackets, I'll usually have to multiply. So now on the left-hand side, I have a little bit of tidying up. I have a positive 2m and a negative 4m, which may be a negative 2m overall once they're added to each other. And then I have a plus 14, negative 12, leaving me with plus 2. That's equal to 15m minus 15. So now I'll have minus 2m plus 2 is equal to 15m minus 15. Well, I want this 15m to be on the left-hand side, so I'll subtract 15 there, but that means I'll have to subtract 15 here as well. This negative 2, I'll have to subtract 2 to make it disappear and go to the other side. But to do that, I'll have to subtract 2 from the other side as well. Subtract 2 from the other side. So then I'll be left with minus 2m minus 15m is minus 17m is equal to negative 17, because I have minus 15 minus 2. So this means we have minus 17m divided by 17. 17's will cancel, and that's equal to minus 17 over 17. And that will leave us overall with m is equal to negative 1. Now, m equal to, oops, that's negative m is equal to negative 1. So if a negative m is equal to a negative 1, then a positive m will be equal to a positive 1. So let me start a bit more space. I can look at part D now. So part D, a triangle of perimeter 18 centimeters has sides of length L, L plus 2, and 2L minus 4. So it's L, L plus 2, and 2L minus 4, I think. Yep. Okay, so they're all centimeters. So tell us anything more about it. Its perimeter is 18, it's saying, so perimeter altogether is 18 centimeters. So if we think about our triangle, imagine it looks something like this. So we have, this could be the side L, that could be the side L plus 2, and that could be the side 2L minus 4. Well, the perimeter of any shape is the length of all its sides added together. So it means if I was to walk along the side L, then walk along the side L plus 2, and walk along the side 2L minus 4, I'd have walked 18 centimeters altogether when I add all three of those together. So if I have to add all three of those together to get 18, that means I can make an equation, which is L plus 2 plus 2L minus 4 is equal to 18. I've just added the three sides together to say that's equal to 18. So I have L plus a 2L is 4 L's, then plus 2 minus 4 is minus 2 is equal to 18. So then I'll have 4L minus 2 is equal to 18. That negative 2 should not be on that left-hand side. So I'll add a positive 2 to the left-hand side. Negative 2 and the positive 2 cancel each other out. And then I'll be left with 4L is equal to 18 plus 2 is 20. Then I'll have 4L is equal to 20. And that'll have to be divided by 4. They'll cancel each other out. And 20 has to be divided by 4. Then we have L is equal to 5. 20 divided by 4 leaves us at 5. Next up we have question 3. So again it starts fairly simple. So it starts off with a linear equation 9y minus 1 is equal to negative 100. So as per usual we want the variable on the left hand side and we want the numbers on the right hand side. So to do that I'll have to add 1 to the negative 1, then they'll cancel each other out, but to do that I'll have to add negative 1 to the other side as well. Then I'm left with 9y's are equal to negative 99. So then I can say that 9y divided by 9 will leave me with just a singular y. But to do that, I have to also divide the negative 99 by 9. And there are 11 9s in 99. So minus 99 divided by 9 will leave us with 11. But it's a negative number divided by a positive number, so that's negative 11. Part 2 of the question is 162 is equal to 13b minus 7. So 162 minus 13b is equal to minus 7, sorry, okay. So again, let's make that look more like a b. Okay, so we have 13b minus 7, so I'm just going to write that the other way around. So it's 13b minus 7 is equal to 162. And then I'll have 13b minus 7 is equal to 162. And I'm going to add 7 to both sides then. So I have add 7 and add 7. So once I do that, they'll cancel each other out. And I'll be left with 13b is equal to 162 plus 7 is equal to 169. So then I have 13 b's divided by 13 will leave me with a single b. But in order to do that, dividing it by 13, I'll have to divide the other side of the equation by 13 as well. So then I'll have 169 divided by 13. Well, that'll leave me at 13. Now again, you can use your calculator for that, but I know that because 13 multiplied by 13 is 169. So third part of the question is part B. Part B has solved the equation. So it's minus 12 plus 5m. So minus 12 plus 5m minus 37 is equal to minus 7m minus 13. Okay, I think I have that right. So first things first, I want to combine those two values. So I'll have 5m minus 37, take away another 12, will leave us with minus 49 is equal to minus 7m minus 13. Okay, now we want the variables on the right. So we have 5m, take away 49 is equal to minus 7m minus 13. So we want this minus 7m we don't want that on the right hand side of the equals, so we're going to add 7m's to it to cancel them out, but to do that we'll have to add 7m's to the left hand side as well. We don't want that negative 49 on the left hand side, so we'll have to add positive 49 to it to cancel them out, and then, but to do that we'll have to add 49 to the other side as well. Oopsie daisy. So that's back again. So next up I'll then have to add these two together. I have 5m's plus 7m's is 12m's, and that's equal to 49 minus 13, so that'll leave me with 36. So now I have 12 m's divided by 12 is equal to 36 divided by 12. 12 divided by 12 will leave me with m is equal to 36 divided by 12 is 3. Then part C has 8 on 5h minus 1. I think it was a minus 2 in a bracket next. 3 minus h. Something like that. What's the last bracket? 7h minus 4. Okay. So away we go. We have 8 times 5 will leave us with 40h. So that's those two multiplied by each other. Then 8 divided by, or multiplied by minus 1 is minus 8. Minus 2 by 3 is minus 6. Minus 2 minus h is plus 2h. 7 by 7h is plus 49h. And then 7 by minus 4 is minus 28. Oops, don't forget my equal sign in between there. That'll make a mess of the question altogether. So I have 40h plus 2h's is 42h. Then I have negative 8, taking away another 6, these are minus 14. And that's equal to 49h minus 28. So I want h's on the right and constants on the left. So I'll have to subtract 49h there and subtract 49h there. Those two will cancel. I'm going to add 14h there, or sorry, 14, that'll cancel, but I'll have to add 14 there as well. Just got to stop hitting the back button. So now I'm left at 42h minus 49h, that's minus 7h, is equal to minus 24 plus 14 is minus 14. So now I have to divide both sides by 7. And I'm left with a negative h is equal to negative 2. But if negative h is negative 2, then positive h is positive 2. Now part D of the question, probably a word problem again. Sean is saving for college. He has €2,500 in the credit union and saves €125 a week from his wages. Right, so he has 2,500 in the bank and he gets 125 per week. And he wants to save up 9,000, I think. Yeah, he wants to save up €9,000. And I'm presuming we have to figure out how many weeks he needs to save for. Sean is saving for college. He has 2,500 in the credit union, saves 125 a week from his wages. How many weeks would he need to save? So how many weeks would he need to save? The thing we don't know is the number of weeks. So the number of weeks is the variable. So weeks is the variable. So we have 2,500 plus something will be equal to the €9,000. So that's going to be 2,500 plus a certain number of 125s. So that's 125, and then each week would be worth. So in 1 week he'd save 125. In 2 weeks he'd save 2 times 125. So that's where we get our equation out of. So we have 2,500 plus 125x is equal to 9,000. Now I want variables on one side and I want numbers in the other. So I get them to cancel out and I now have 125x is equal to, why is my brain not working, 6,500. Yeah, 6,500. So then I have 125x divided by 125 is equal to 6,500 divided by 125. That leaves me with x is equal to, right, how many 125s will there be in 6,500? Well, there'll be 4 in 500 So there'll be 8 and 1,000. So we have 6,000. So 6 eighths be 48, and then another 4, 52 weeks. So you have to save for a full year. Now, because it's very late at night and I'm very tired, I'm going to multiply this in my calculator to make sure I have it right. So 125 multiplied by 52. And I haven't embarrassed myself, I got that right. So he'll have to save for 52 weeks. Okie doke. So that is